All right, you survived the holiday, and now comes what I like to call the dreaded time. It's time to put all of your Christmas decor away, and I dread this every year, so we're just gonna hop right into this and give you some great tips, because I can guarantee you that if you put it away nicely now, you will thank yourself next year when you go to bring it all back out. Let me know in the comments down below, when do you normally take all your decor down for Christmas? Do you do it, today, like the day after Christmas, or do you do it later on in January? I guess it probably depends on what country you're in and your different traditions. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys do. All right, the first thing I want you to do, so number one, is I want you to take photos of the areas that you really like how you decorated. Because next year, I can guarantee you're not gonna remember and you're gonna be like, what did I do? How did I place this? So number one, take photos of areas that you really like, so if you want to do it that way again next year, you have a reference. Number two on our list for storage and organization, you have to decide how you want to organize. There's a couple different ways, and I actually use a combination of both. So you can decide, do you want to take and put like all your stems together and then all your ornaments together throughout your whole home? It depends on how much of an area you decorated. So if you just have one small area you decorated, it might be a little more simple. For me, this is how I'm going to do it. This is my skinny tree that I have up on my staircase landing. I really like how I decorated it this year. So what I'm gonna do is, first, number one, I took a photo of it. Number two, I'm gonna get a clear storage bin, and I am going to store all of it in this storage bin and then label it skinny tree, or like staircase landing skinny tree. And then that way, so easy. So next year, I pull this one out, pop this tree up. All the stuff for this tree is in this one bin together, as long as it all fit, and I think it should. And look how easy that was. Otherwise, if I go around my whole home and I put all the ornaments in one thing and all the little picks in one thing, well then I have to like start all over on decorating. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Okay, this was so easy. Everything is in the little storage tote. Now I'm just gonna label it, and you don't have to get crazy with your labeling. You don't have to have a Cricut or a label maker or anything. I highly suggest that you don't write right on the plastic with like a Sharpie. Get a piece of like painter's tape and put that across there, and then write with the Sharpie. And then that way, because if you ever end up using the tote for something else, then you can just pull that off and relabel it. All right, so in tip number one, I told you to take a photo so you can remember the areas that you really liked. In tip number two, I told you to decide what way you want to organize. Do you want to do it by category or by location? Well, I kind of already showed you this, but so tip number three is you need to use clear storage bins. It's really a game changer. That way you can always see what's in there, even if you have it labeled. Sometimes you're looking for a specific item, and this isn't gonna tell you every single thing that's in there. And so that's a great way to see. I use two different sizes where I store mine. This is a 30 quart, and this big guy is 105. I choose this kind because I like these little snap and seal lids. They just keep it really nice, clean, keeps everything in there and organized, and they usually never pop off or anything like that. I'll list these down below. But so tip number three, clear storage bins and using the painter's tape to label. That way you can like take that off, because you don't have to be fancy unless you're fancy and you have like a Cricut or something or a label maker. But this is just a really cheap, inexpensive way to label. All right, number four is you're going to use little toilet paper holders or paper towel holders to roll up all your little like twinkle lights. This is the easiest, best way to organize this. So a lot of times throughout different areas in my home, I have the little twinkle lights that are going around through all my stuff. So when it comes time to putting them away, it's always like, oh, I just don't want it to be a big, crazy, unorganized mess, because it's already like thrown all around in here, I feel like. So let me show you a really easy way to put this away, so next year it's not just a hot mess. So just take the end, and I'm going to use some of that painter's tape, and I'm just going to tape that on the inside right there to hold that, and then I just start wrapping it around, and that'll just keep it so nice and organized. for the next year and it won't be all tangled up. And then when you get to the end, all you have to do, it just depends on your battery size. My battery size is too big for this one. Some of them are small and can actually fit inside of there. This one cannot, so I just have to lay it like this nicely with it. And it stores so easy and compact. So I just put it like this down into my little storage bin. And then now when I, go to do it next year, it just unrolls really easy and it's not like a big tangled mess. If you have huge ones, definitely use a paper towel roll. A lot longer, can hold a lot more. So tip number 4, toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls to roll up all your little twinkle lights. And just a friendly reminder to take out all your batteries from everything that you're putting away. So don't store your batteries away because that is not a good idea. So definitely take out all your batteries when you store all of your decor. Okay, tip number 5 is a little bit off of decor, but I wanted to show you guys this just because it's so handy and I do use this constantly. I use this more than just for Christmas. I use this for like my birthday wrapping paper, different things like that. I get one of these old garment bags. This is a really old one. Look, it says Michaela Weiser's second. We had a ton of these from when she did dance. And so I just take my wrapping paper and they just store so nicely down in here. And then also like in the bottom, any kind of like ribbon or even my tape, I'll just stick down in the bottom of it. And then it just seals up so nice. And then it hangs, and I hang it in one of my storage closets. And it just really keeps the wrapping paper super nice. It's a great place to like store everything. And so this is just a fun little tip I wanted to throw in there. It's not really like decor related, but it is storage and organization for your Christmas items. I have the luxury of having this really awesome attic that we made over. I'm gonna leave up here in the corner for you how we did that if you wanna see more about this area and how I store all of my decor. I get a lot of questions on a lot of different videos of like, where do you store all of this? So I'll leave that link up here. Go check it out. It was a lot of fun to remake over this attic to have a really awesome storage area. But a fun little tip that I want to give you guys is when I'm taking off my stuff like off my mantle to decorate for Christmas, the bins that I used for the Christmas decor then houses the stuff that I was using on the mantle before that. So then I have a nice place for it to come back to, keep everything safe while it's waiting to go back to its original spot. So this is just a really great way to help move your stuff in and out, is reuse your storage bins for your everyday decor in order to then save space and keep it nice and organized. Now would be a great time to subscribe if you haven't. Turn that notification bell on so you never miss out. And also, leave me a comment down below, guys, and let me know where you store your items. I would love to hear, and also it would be great because other people reading the comments could hear your suggestions and we could all share and learn a lot and hopefully be nice and organized this year. When it comes to items such as this where, okay, come on now. If you guys are able to get these back in their original container to where they all fit, I am so impressed because I never can. Once something comes out of a box for me, it's done. I can hardly ever get it back in. And so Ziploc bags are my best friend. And so I'll get these larger ones that are like the 2 quart. And then that way, these are all the shatterproof. I love shatterproof. And then you just store them all in here together. And then that way, you do not have to worry about anything. It is super easy. Just dumping them in and done. So I highly recommend using the Ziploc bags. Of course, I mean, you can label it if you want, but pretty obvious what's happening in here. So tip number 7, utilize storage bags such as this because you're never going to be able to get it back into its original container. Maybe you can. I'm not that talented. Okay, this tip you're really going to thank me for because it's going to save you a lot of time on decluttering and organizing in the future. I'm going to tell you that you need to use the 3-year rule. If you haven't used it in 3 years, it's time to get rid of it. You're most likely not going to use it. So go through your bins as you're putting your stuff away. I have this old storage bin that it's not see-through. It says Christmas decorations on the front. I had no idea what was in it. It's got some old items. I know I haven't used these in 3 years. It's time to donate them. So 3-year rule. You will thank me later when you do not end up having a mound of accumulation of Christmas decor. Let's address storing garland. I think garland is one of the hardest things to store. Everyone's always talking about their wreaths and all that. Well, I think wreaths are super easy to store. I just put mine in those garment bags and it keeps them super nice. But garland is so big and bulky and so just, what's the right word? Cumbersome. That's a good word. It's just such a pain. And so, you remember the storage things that I showed you earlier? The big 105 quart? They are perfect for big bulky garland. It holds several of them, and all you have to do is fold it in half like that, and it fits so nicely down in there. I hope you guys found today's video helpful. We'll see you in the new year. Lots of fun stuff planned here on my channel. I can't wait to bring you along. Bye-bye.